All right, so if anyone's watching right now, MG has not grown a beard and changed his complexion. We have Stewie with us, co-founder of NBA, our special guest today on the potty. How's everything going,
Mm.
Stewie?
Really good.
Yeah, we-
Obviously, the news is out there, and here we are.
yeah, we've obviously got two big announcements.
Yep.
One's probably, well, let's say one's more important than the other, and that's that MG and me did have the baby. They had it on Saturday, the 24th, that night. Talia Lily Galanti. I've got a little photo up on my phone here from Instagram. She's absolutely beautiful. Baby and Meve are healthy, which is absolutely amazing. I spoke to MG today, actually, and he had to get out and about and get some steps and get some fresh air because he'd been in the hospital. You know how he is, right? He's going to be there all over the baby. He's never going to. And I think Meve just said, "Hey, just go for a walk. Just go for a walk and get some air." So he
Yep.
he
Yep.
rang me, and yeah, obviously he's just beside himself. He's over the moon. He's in love. His life has changed, and he's so incredibly happy. And I said to him, did you have any like changes of mind, life-changing moments, like epiphanies? And he just said, as soon as I saw her and I held her, I just thought my world needs to revolve around her, and everything that I do needs to be for her from this point onwards. And I'm not going to sweat the small stuff anymore. And I'm going
Yep.
to make sure that I am the best possible person I can possibly be, and everything I do is going to be for her. And he's just so happy. He's so in love, obviously, and she's absolutely beautiful. So congratulations to MG and Meave and their whole family. Absolutely amazing news. We knew it was gonna happen,
Yep.
and
Well, was it at your date that you predicted?
it was. I called it the 24th. I definitely called it. He said the weight was 3.5, so I can't remember what I predicted, but I don't think I predicted that heavy. Do you remember
Nah,
what?
no one did. We all thought it was going to be like high twos.
Yeah, so 3.5. I don't think we predicted that. I got the date, but definitely not the weight at all. But I'm sure we'll try to get him on to talk a little bit more. But obviously, that's a priority at the moment. They're coming home from the hospital tomorrow morning, which will be Wednesday morning. And
Hmm.
obviously, they're going to get settled in, and their life has changed forever, which is absolutely amazing. So
Definitely an amazing time.
yeah. What about you,
Yeah.
Scotty? When you had your first, what was some of the thoughts that went through your head?
Well, Harvey was very different to Evie because we had Evie in COVID, and that was just I didn't really feel a part of the whole pregnancy. A, I was in prep, and B, back then you weren't allowed to go to any appointments, and I'm normally very hands-on. So like with Harvey, I was at everything. Whereas Evie, I literally went to our first appointment with the obstetrician, and then I couldn't go until the birth because you weren't allowed into the hospital. It was brutal how strict it was. But it's the most. I said to MG when I spoke to him after, I'm like, and he actually said that to me, and I had preempted saying it to him. It's the most overwhelming, incredible, euphoric feeling that you'll ever have. Like when you look at a life that you guys have created for the first time, and there's so much just. It's just a wave of emotion, and equally towards your partner too, because you see, especially, giving birth naturally, you see what they go through. It's like the most brutal leg workout you could ever imagine, times 100. And obviously they had a long labor too. So you just have you're just in awe of everything, and it instantly changes you like in that moment. And like you said, it's like the things that would once upon a time you would think about, you don't even sweat it because it's like nothing in the world matters. As cliche as it sounds, time really does stand still. It's one of the most incredible things that you'll ever experience as a human being. But yeah, very, very happy for both those guys. It's very exciting, and equally we know they've both wanted this for so long, so it's so good that two incredible people have been able to have that moment, and now they get to enjoy the rigors of sleep deprivation and parenthood and dirty nappies, and
For the
but
next
I'm sure
20 years.
they'll be all over it.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
about you, Stewie? You've got two little ones.
Yep. So yeah, very similar when Heath was born. Yeah, I remember very clearly the world did change. Everything was about him. And I do remember like the first time holding him, just sitting down, bawling my eyes out for like 10 minutes, nonstop. then falling asleep because, again, it was a long night. Yeah, fell asleep
Yeah.
holding him for another hour or two after that. But
Yeah.
it was definitely that life-changing moment, exactly as you explained.
Yeah, it's amazing. So amazing news. When we heard it, Stu and I, you and I were together because
Yeah,
we had gone to Sydney on the Saturday for the workshop, the MBA workshop, and then we came back to Melbourne. You stayed at mine, and we were up doing work all night. And I think it was like 12 o'clock in the morning, maybe it was 12:30, and my phone lit up, and I was like, MG just sent me a photo, and I zoomed in. I was like, oh my God, I think you just had the baby. And I just opened it up and there was a photo of them and I was like, oh my God. And Stu
yeah,
and I was so happy and I messaged him straight away. So yeah, it was great to hear that news from him. Obviously, they have their own, time together before they announce it socially and things like that. So even though it happened on Saturday night, they didn't announce it till only the last day. So yeah, super happy for them. But
yeah,
the other announcement
yeah,
was Scotty and I joining forces with Stu at NBA and becoming owners and directors, which was super exciting. So, I thought what would be really, really good is we obviously had that announcement and told everyone what we're really hoping to achieve out of this and how far NBA has come so far. But maybe we'll talk a little bit about how it all came about because, when that news came out, they're like, geez, you guys kept it quiet. Like, how did this all happen? Like, what's going on here? So I think it would be really, really good to kind of talk a little bit about the process, the discussions, the timeline, the backwards and forwards, and everything that we went through.
yeah,
Obviously, Scotty being over there too, and have to kind of communicate at different times, and all the
yeah.
things we had to go through. So, if you don't mind, Stewie, I can tell a story if you want.
Yep, yep. You start. I'll fill in some gaps, and
Gaps, yeah.
we'll go from
Okay,
there.
perfect. So
Yeah,
coming towards the end of season B, when Scotty competed and then he left to go to the UK, him and I had a really, really big discussion, especially after the fact that MG said, look, I think obviously we're having a baby next year, and I think I want to spend a little bit more time and step away from working with federations. And Scotty and I, we felt a little bit of a void. We're like, oh, we really enjoyed being on that side of the fence, not obviously being a coach, but also being on that side of the fence and being part of federations and running shows and things like that. And after a lot of feedback that we got from coaches and clients and competitors about some of the shows that were run in season B across all the federations and all the feedback that we got and maybe some areas for improvement, like I think we need to do something about this. I think we need to look into being a part of a federation, either buying into a federation or even starting our own. We actually had the discussion, we're like, maybe we can start our own. It'll take a bit of time to get it off the ground and maybe a couple of years for it to grow. But, we looked at NBA and we're like, Stewie did that. And within a couple of years, it boomed. And actually, he did it over COVID, which was the hardest time.
yeah,
So we're like, it's in our capacity to do so, but maybe we have a look at what federations would be the ones that we'd want to be a part of and what we can approach. And if that doesn't work, then we'll look at having that discussion of, doing our own thing. So, Stu and I, we've had a great relationship throughout many years and become really, really good friends. I thought, look, let me approach Stu and let's see how we go. So after season B, like later in November, early December, I had a chat with Stu and I said, look, this is our thoughts, this is what we're thinking. We either want to buy into something if it's possible, or we want to start our own. And I remember Stu saying, "Funny you ask. What a coincidence!" Because the other co-founders have moved on, and for me to do what I want to do with MBA, I'm gonna need help. And as soon as I found out that MG wasn't a part of another federation anymore, and you boys were also moving away from that, I thought maybe I might talk to these boys and see what's happening. So it was funny that we're all thinking the same thing at the same time. I just got to you first before you got to me. And
yeah,
then we had a really, really good chat, a good discussion. We wanted to make sure that we saw eye to eye in what we really wanted out of, a federation, what we wanted to grow into, and some of the changes that we wanted to make because of all the pain points that we heard from coaches, from competitors, and what we really wanted to try to evolve the industry into. And we saw eye to eye on a lot of things. And I wasn't surprised because we have spoken for so many seasons, so many years, and everything that you were thinking, I was thinking, and we bounced a lot of things off each other. So I wasn't really surprised that we kind of saw eye to eye on a lot of things too. So after a lot of discussions, obviously Scotty and I, we approached MG because us three, we do everything together. And we said, look, this is what is going to happen. We're going down this road. We're speaking to Stu. We're gonna lock something in. Do you want to be a part of it? And he said, look, I promise Meve, I promise that I'm going to spend my time, energy, and effort on my family. It's going to be my first child. It's going to, and also I left the other federation because that's what I wanted to make sure I was doing. So he said, look, I'm more than happy to help because I know Scotty is over in the UK and he can't be here physically. So I'm more than happy to lend a hand, but I wish you boys all the best and I'll be here to support you along the way. So Scotty and I just ran with it. We ran with it. We spoke to Stu and we really structured it like a proper organization, a proper company. There's legal contracts involved, there's trademarks involved, there's no handshake deals here. We're going to make sure that we do it all right from the start. We protect each other and we protect what we're trying to build here. So we set ourselves off and we really wanted to wait a little bit to make an announcement because we wanted to make sure we had all our ducks in a row first. And it all came together and we made that announcement. Did I miss anything, Stewie?
You've covered it very well. So yeah.
Got it in a nice little neat bow there, bro.
Yeah. Scotty, we don't even need to be here. It can just be the MT.
No, exactly.
Podcast.
Yeah. What a narrator.
Yeah.
I guess, Stu, I've never said this to you, so let's say it right in the open, recorded. I'm not going to take this bit out. Is what made you really think, okay, these two guys are the guys that would be really, really good for NBA? And when I did approach you, you're like, okay, yeah, I think we can work together on this.
Firstly, even some of the changes I've made over the last couple of years, you guys were both people that I bounced ideas off already. Mm-hmm. So you were already people I trusted. You had a similar mindset to me, like the men's fitness division. Scotty, you were a big driver in that actually happening. You were one of the first people to sort of suggest it to me, then bounce back and forward with some ideas around that. And I think by the end came up with a really good structure with the height and weight limits, and that category is now growing quite well for NBA. So, and there are other things, I can't remember other specific ones, but there are other things that I'd bounced with you, MT. We've definitely had similar ideas on what's good about shows, what needs to be done better. Mm-hmm. So my first, and I said it to you guys straight away, my first hesitation was you guys were coaches, and coaches being directly involved can look funny. So straight away I said that as long as you guys are happy that I could have complete control of the judging panel, you guys don't choose judges, you're not involved in that side of things at all. That was my only really initial hesitation, and we got past that in one conversation, and everything was up from there.
Yeah, for us, we respect you so much as a judge, and we've been to so many of your shows that we've had athletes in, and sometimes decisions haven't gone our way, and we completely respect it. So there was by no means that we wanted to make any adjustments and changes or even have any opinion on anything like that, because I think the consistency and the standard that you're upholding within NBA is probably the highest in natural bodybuilding at the moment in Australia. So there's no need for us to even have any opinion and comment because it's working perfectly fine the way it is.
And equally on that as well, MT, just quickly, neither of us had, some people who are involved in coaching have aspirations of getting into judging, but I think speaking on behalf of both you and I, that's something that's never even remotely entered. It just doesn't interest us. And if we're going to do something, we need to be in it wholeheartedly. So, and I think that was probably why it also aligned quite well with Stu, because we had no desire whatsoever to even get involved in that, because it's outside our scope of what we enjoy doing and equally with what we do. So it kind of made it pretty clear cut. We don't have anything to do with that sort of stuff, nor does it interest us to. So.
And that was a pretty open discussion we had with you, Stu, about we are coaches and we will be supporting other federations too. We're not going to change the way where we put our clients. We're going to make sure that their best interest is a priority to us. And if they want to do other federations and not NBA, that's perfectly fine. What's funny is this announcement came out, but obviously I already knew that I was part of NBA, and I had clients picking, and I was helping them pick federations, and some of them aren't picking NBA, and I didn't push them in that direction because part of their best interest was something else. So
Yeah.
I said to you up front, and both of us said, coaching is still very, very important to us, and we don't want this to affect our coaching and our clients in any way. And then you completely respected that. But I think I also had the thought too, is like, if there's going to be any negativity, what are people going to think about coaches being a part of a federation? And because we've never had coaches have ownership in a federation, we've had coaches that are on the judging table and actually currently are on judging table for other federations, and we won't get into that too much, but we've never had a situation where the coaches are actually financially involved and are helping direct the federation. And I just said to you, think logically, if anyone ever brings this up, why would I invest my money in a federation just to sway the judging when, frankly, Scotty and I don't need to sway the judging. We're already pretty successful in what we do, not only in NBA, but across multiple federations. So this is not something that we need to put our money into to make sure we get a result like that. And also, I would never put the reputation of the federation in jeopardy that I own, and also my best friends own too. It just wouldn't make any sense whatsoever. And if we wanted to be more successful and get better placings, we would not be running a podcast like this and giving away all our secrets. Like, we just wouldn't be doing that. So we're literally doing this and being a part of NBA for the betterment of the industry and of the sport. And that's one of the reasons why we're doing this podcast, is to give away our secrets and to help everyone so we can make this sport better. And that's the way we see it. And what's really, really good is, we were thinking those things. What are people going to say? But no one has said anything. Everyone has been so supportive, which I shouldn't be surprised, but you always think that there's going to be someone that's going to have some negativity. There's been zero. And I'm so grateful and thankful for that. And it just goes to show that people support us, which we are so thankful for, but also people support this industry improving and positivity in the industry. So that was really, really good. And that was one of the things that we wanted to make sure that if it did come up, that we could explain it to people. So if anyone ever says anything, and I'm talking to the listeners here now, if anyone ever says anything that's negative towards this sport, make sure you back us up if you support us and you like us, but more importantly, make sure you back the sport up. If there's any negativity in this sport, it's only going to bring it down. It's only going to affect us. So if anyone ever says anything negative about this sport or about anyone involved in this sport, just pull them up and just go, hang on a second, guys, this is not the way it is, and this is not what I want this sport to become. So that was definitely something that we spoke about too, and we just wanted to make sure that we cleared up.
Circling back, because I struggled to get my word in when you mentioned your clients doing other federations. NBA's always been about not pushing people in any direction. We don't make pros only do NBA. There's no exclusivity. There's nothing like that. It's always been about do everything, enjoy the sport for what it is. We're comfortable that we do things really well and people will come back. So there's no worry about people trying other federations. And if someone suits a different federation, that's great. As long as they're having a good experience, then it's better for the sport and they might come back to NBA next time.
Yeah.
So that's always been the mindset, and that definitely won't change.
Yeah. And there's more than enough to go around, and there's more than enough for all the federations to grow. I had a chat with Tony Lanciano before the announcement came up, because we have a really, really good relationship and we respect each other. And I went and I met up with him personally, and I told him exactly, what the announcement is and everything that's happening. And he was so supportive and he congratulated us. And I said, we've got such a great relationship. I'm sure that it will continue to grow and we can help each other grow. I don't know anywhere else where there's heads of federations that can talk and are friends and can communicate to make sure that, shows don't clash and there's no negativity and there's no issues between all the feds, because we can all work together to make sure that we can level up this industry. So, having that chat with Tony was really, really good for me too. And it just, solidified the fact that there's amazing people in this industry that just wants to make sure that we all grow together.
Yeah, and I've always had similar relationships with Tony, Jason in Queensland, and even more recently with Rabs in New South Wales. So, that's just only going to get stronger.
Yeah. So, do we want to give out any secrets of any changes that we're making? Because we made some changes for season A, which I'm sure at all the workshops we've discussed and publicly out there. So, do you want to cover some little changes that we made in season A? And do
Yeah.
you want to talk about some season B stuff, or should we leave that for after season A for another podcast? What do you think?
Yeah, I reckon some of the season B stuff we should dig into a little bit.
All
But
right,
yeah,
cool.
first and foremost, like the biggest, we'll call it downfall. I don't think it was actually a downfall, but we'll call it that for want of a better word. NBA shows, while we've been known for the great judging, consistent, fair judging, great stage time, and the great media, we're also known for running a little bit late. I'll call it what it is. We have become known for that. So, and that's the biggest thing we need to fix. So you guys came in with some ideas around that.
Yeah, so we changed the running or the way the show flows. Let's call it to a more traditional format where full division runs to the end of it, then the next division runs to the end of it, and so on and so forth. So like bikini comes out, they get all the bikini divisions done, then all the fitness divisions come out, then all the sports division come out, then all the and so on and so forth, instead of a mixed format which NBA had in the past. So we kind of moved to that model a little bit. And then we also had a look at maybe on stage how we could make some adjustments to be a little bit more efficient, but not affect anyone's stage time. And also we spoke, and Stewie, I was pretty like adamant about this one
Yeah,
because, we have the best photographers in the industry and videographers. And I was like, we want to make sure that we capture those moments with no one in the background.
yeah,
And one of the ones was the small adjustment to the eye walk, where when that person is front and center, we change the timing so the person's not standing at the back the whole time. So they get their shots, they get their videography done, they get their photos done, and that person is not in the back of their footage, but is still there so the show still runs at an appropriate time. So we're kind of timing it differently now on how we kind of do the eye walk and when we tell people to walk and when to go and when to stop and when to hold and all that kind of stuff too. So
yeah,
we made some small little adjustments there also.
yeah. And competitors won't need to stress about that because yeah, the backstage people will still be directing them when to go. And yeah, it's a very tiny adjustment that if we didn't tell people, they probably wouldn't even notice it happened. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
And these are some of we really wanted to tell you, Stewie, all the things that we see at shows and all the little things if we could try to change and implement. And
yeah,
obviously, coming on the other side of the fence, there's some things that we just couldn't change. Like there's some
yeah,
things like that's just not going to work. But there was other things that were like, yep, we can do that. Yep, we can do that. Because I know
yeah,
some things you were like, but then we don't get enough time judging, and I
yeah,
don't get enough time to see people. So actually,
yeah,
the reason why I have them on the diagonal at this time is because I can judge them better. And I was like, well, we don't want to change the way you judge, and
yeah,
that you don't see people as much as what you like. So there was a little bit of give and take in how our suggestions had to be adjusted for sure.
yeah, yeah. And I think we've come to a fairly good balance with that. Proof
Yeah.
will be in the pudding on show day, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think that'll run well.
I think even with other things, like there were some other changes that we wanted to make in a specific category to do with making additional poses. And you were adamant about sticking to the way it was. And
Yeah,
me and Scotty were like, oh, but we really want it this way. And then when you told us your reasoning, we both went away after that meeting. We let it marinate for a little bit. And then I messaged Scotty, or I rang Scotty and I said, I think Stu sold me. I get what he's trying to achieve. And
yeah,
Scott was like, yeah, I get what Stu's saying. Yeah, okay, no,
yeah.
we get it. We get it. So it was good that we
But
can.
we can say which division it is. Like, I've been very open about not
Okay.
wanting muscularity poses in men's physique, and you guys now understand why. So
Yeah.
for the people out there, like we don't want men's physique to become bodybuilders in board shorts. And shortened version of a probably 45-minute discussion about that. If you have 5 muscularity poses and 4 symmetry poses, there is a strong possibility that the more muscular guy that wins 5 muscularity poses is the one the judges pick as the winner.
Mm-hmm.
So we take that out of the picture, judge the symmetry poses based on the criteria for men's physique, and I think we generally come up with pretty good men's physique winners winning our overalls and pro shows. I think, Scotty, you'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think definitely experiencing that, obviously, because I'd never done an NBA show until last year now, 2023. That was the first time. I've obviously put lots and lots and lots of athletes in your shows over the years, but whenever I've prepped, it never really lined up. And because of COVID, you guys didn't have a year in that 2020 year when I competed last. So having being able to do that and do men's physique with the cemetery, and obviously also doing the same thing with IFBB, because they don't have, I did IFBB as well last year, and they don't have the muscularity poses as well. So yeah, I definitely get it, and am 100% on board with it as well. And like you said, I think the look that you have, it allows you to be able to have some separation and some, I guess, a bit of a clearer picture around what is what, because otherwise it is very easy if you got someone who in those side chest shots is bubbly and they got huge shoulders, but equally, like you said, they're a bodybuilder. And we've seen that at shows where open bodybuilders have come out and won the overall in men's physique, and it's like that's probably not really how it should be, just because you're slapping some board shorts on. So I think that's really, really important moving forward.
Actually, on that, so we actually got some new shorts for men's physique and also men's fitness, right? Stewie, I know you did a lot of investigation, and let's just say that maybe you bought some super expensive men's physique shorts and you got them,
Yeah.
we won't call them copied, but we took some inspiration from them, of course.
Yeah.
So we've got these, like, they are awesome. They're awesome men's physique shorts. They're
Yeah.
absolutely amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, a full tapered cut. They'll sit nice and tight on the legs. Still have room in the waist.
Mhm.
Will be nice and tight in the waist. So yeah, that's definitely a massive improvement on that for that division.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
yeah.
And then also for female sports, we made a change to the sportswear. I think one of the big things that I was mentioning to is like I'm tucking all the sportswear and all the girls, like I'm tucking the tops and I'm tucking the glutes and I'm,
Yeah.
making adjustments. I won't say who did it, but actually one of my clients got the sportswear off you early and then sewed it and changed it and made it a scrunch bum and did all this stuff to it.
Yeah.
Do you know who it was? Did I tell you that
I
story?
don't, and they must be good at sewing, getting it the day before and doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So, anyways,
yeah,
I gave you that feedback and I said, look, it'd be great if we could make these adjustments and changes. So we actually got Candace to try on the final cut on the weekend. We took them up to Sydney and she tried them on, and they show full glute in that sportswear. So there's going to be no tucking that needs to be done. And at the front, they really taper down. And then on the top, we've gone to like just one, I don't know, what do you call it? A T neck? What, where just basically at the back it's just one strap only, and then it goes around the neck at the front.
halter neck.
Halter neck. There you go. So
Yeah.
you know better than I do.
Yeah.
So we've really changed the way the sportswear looks, and to make sure you can see all the parts of the physique that you really want to see, and nothing's covered. So we get to see all the back and obviously all the glutes too. So yeah,
Yeah.
we're really, really excited about some of those changes too for the sportswear.
Yeah. The other sort of major one for how the show day runs, adjusting the speed of the V walk, where essentially everyone will come on together in a line rather than the person waiting for the person at the front to finish their single pose before they walk out. So yeah, I think that when we've tried that at a few of the workshops and works quite well and definitely rolls things through a little bit quicker.
Yeah,
So,
the people at the workshop had no idea we're using them as guinea pigs, and we're
yeah,
trying out some different things that we want to do on show day, which was
yeah,
awesome. So, obviously with NBA, we have an eye walk. You come out individually, you get your own stage time, but then you only get to do that once in one of your divisions and categories that you select. But every other time that you come out in a V walk. So you basically V line to the middle. You do a little pose and then you go off to your diagonal. And basically it's just we reintroduce everyone and they come out like clockwork. So we're just been trying to work the timing on that so no one is bumping into anyone, and
yeah,
also no one is waiting because someone's waiting too long in the center and taking a little bit too long to do the poses. So we've really been able to refine that too, which has been absolutely awesome. So that'll allow people to still have the same amount of stage time, but also make sure that the show doesn't run too long too. So
yeah.
some small little adjustments there.
So I think those things alone, that should, those three major changes should make the shows flow a lot better.
Yeah.
Then additionally, on show days, I won't be the only person that people come to when things go wrong. because we know a lot of things go wrong on show days.
Yeah.
And yeah, one of the biggest things in reflection, when we were talking through how nationals went, what was meant to be a 15-minute intermission always turned into a 45-minute intermission, because I was spending 45 minutes sorting all the things that needed sorting. So we'll have someone there on show day who can handle all those things.
Yeah.
So I'll actually get a 15-minute break in a 15-minute intermission and be able to concentrate on judging and emceeing. Those two jobs together are enough. I don't need to add anything more to it.
Yeah.
I have, and it's been working okay, but it's definitely part of why shows were running later. And the reflection on that, we'll definitely have some things around with extra staff to handle that, from the smaller show right through to the bigger show.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's one of the big things too, is that, obviously Scotty, not here at the moment, but we travel nationwide. So we travel to every single show. Obviously it'll be you and I, Stewie. I think MG said he put up his hand to help us out and come to some shows too, which will be absolutely amazing. So everyone's going to see our faces at every single show, and also at every single workshop too. We don't just go, hey, posing coach over there in that state, just run a workshop for us. We go to every single workshop. We make sure that we're there. We booked a lot of flights on that Saturday night for the rest of season A. I don't know.
Yeah.
The bank account went down a little bit, but we booked a lot of flights, and there's a lot of travel happening, which is good. Like, it's fun, it's exciting. Stewie and I get to spend a lot of time together. We talk a lot of crap, and also we talk through a lot of things too, which is awesome. But we get to, I'm a bit of a snob now. I get access to the lounge, right? The Virgin Lounge. I've never had access before. You two boys know all about it. I knew nothing about it until now, and now I'm like, this is the best thing in the world. Like, look, I get and that kind of stuff. So it's been good.
I've started dieting and can't eat any of the free food in the lounge, and it's just a good place to sit and have a free Coke.
Yeah, Scotty, you know how I've been in the fat loss phase. I've been on point, mate. When I go to the lounge, it's just coffees and Coke Zeros.
Yeah. Well, now you know how I felt all last year, where every lounge we went to, just drinking black coffee and Coke Zero.
Yeah.
But equally, it's when you're traveling and you're dieting, it's things like that. It makes a difference, because it's like you can actually sit, you can charge your phone, you can get fast Wi-Fi and just relax. And obviously, when you boys are covering a lot of the load in season A, but season B, we've got other states coming. It's going to be an international show, so the travel is going to be outrageous. But at least 3 will be easier than just the 2. So I'll be joining the bandwagon. It'll be good. I'm looking forward to it, to be honest.
Yeah, you touched on a couple of things there. So season B, you want to talk a little bit about the extra state that we're going to for the first time, and also the international show that we're doing.
Yeah, so we are going to be heading over to WA in season B, which is pretty exciting news. I'm sure there'll be a few of our WA followers that tune into the pod every week, and some of my athletes over there equally very, very excited about having that, because typically it's been a one-show town, in that obviously ICN's very, very big over there. And again, we want to hopefully be able to work with those guys. But I think it's tough when you're on the other side of the country and you don't get that same access to having lots of shows. I know YNF have a show there as well, but I think it'll be good to grow our brand, but equally to be able to expose those guys to how we do things with NBA. And then obviously the big show is the Asia Pacific show, which is going to be in Bali in October. And we MT and I have some meetings this Saturday, because we're heading over to Indonesia for the retreat we're running. And then obviously we have a big day of meetings on Saturday. So everything is locked up and sorted with that. So we'll be getting into the thick of that. But that's going to be really, really exciting. And again, having competed internationally, one of the biggest gaps, and I think we all sort of said this, even with our athletes, finding that there's just a lot of unknowns and perhaps not the same support network, and not knowing where to go and what to do and how to approach this, versus not only are we going to be running a show, but we're going to be able to offer the ability to fill all those gaps for athletes. So, sorting accommodation, sorting transport, gyms to be able to train at, tanning, where you can get your food from, babysitters if you've got families, all the things that perhaps, having lived it and breathed it and having had a family, you think about those little elements of minutia. And so I think that's something that we're going to be able to offer as a point of difference. And again, having an amazing show, we'll have a few Indonesian competitors. Again, we're hopefully going to start that partnership pretty shortly as well, which is exciting. So it's going to be an incredible show, and I'm really, really excited to get into the thick of it. So I know that you boys are as well. And the venue that we have is absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
It's going to blow everyone away. So, and having Alex on board it, all the videography is just it's gonna take it to a whole different level as well. So to say we're excited for that one is an absolute understatement.
Yeah, it's awesome. I know we're heading off to a retreat this weekend, but before we start the retreat, we're going to go check the venue out and have a chat with them and have a look at it. I cannot wait to see it. But you touched on a really, really good point, and I know I discussed this many podcasts ago when I went to Korea for the ICN Universe. Yeah, there was just no information of, like, I'm just going there with my athletes, but I don't know where they train, what's in the supermarket. Like, I got no idea about anything. It was a complete learning curve. And that's when we spoke about it, about, okay, we're going to do an international show. I was like, guys, we need to make sure this, and this, because we cannot have people going over there and not knowing where to train, what to eat, what's in a supermarket, where to stay, where the venue is, how to get around, like all that stuff. I had to learn on the fly and kind of, make sure I was keeping my head above water while I had my athletes and make sure they weren't stressing while I was stressing undercover. And we're like, holy shit, how are we going to get all this done? But that's one thing we said is like, we want to make it as easy as possible. We can give them all the information up front. We'll actually run information sessions and seminars for anyone that's coming to be like, this is what you should be expecting. This is what you do. This is what's going to be there. This is where you can train. If you have any questions, let us know. So we can just bombard everyone with so much information so that they know exactly what to expect when they land. So we can make it just like you were competing here, that easy. But you're just doing it over there in a country, in a bit of a different environment too. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. It'll be absolutely awesome.
It'll essentially be a retreat with a comp at the end of it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, definitely will be. So
very exciting. I'm very jealous that you guys are going without me this weekend. But yeah, can't be at workshops and there at the same time. So yeah. I'll hold the fort over in Oz while you sort that out.
Yeah, you've got some workshops while we're away, right?
Yeah, so both days this weekend, both days next weekend while you're away.
Yeah.
So,
is it this weekend is Brizzy?
This weekend is Gold Coast Saturday, Brizzy Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Then next weekend is Sydney Saturday, Brizzy Sunday.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 big weekends. And then I'm I'm away for 2 weeks in Bali. I get back on Friday midnight. Saturday I have a wedding, and then Sunday at 7 a.m. I've got to be at the airport because we go to Adelaide for a workshop.
Yeah, and the workshop's at 9:30 in the morning.
Yes. So I've got to make sure I've got my coffees there. But
yeah,
I'm excited about the Adelaide workshop. Do you want to? Have you posted it yet, Stewie? Do you want to?
Yeah, posted just before we started recording.
Oh, did you?
So,
okay. Do you want to talk about it?
Yep. So yeah, with some help from the exclusive or preferred 10 hair and makeup artist that's looking after our show, Monica, we managed to book to do the workshop at Derrimut in Rundle Mall. So it'll be 9:30 in the morning through to 10:30. So
I was really happy that that was secured because, as you know, we tried to book a Derrimut when we were helping out the other Fed. It was a pain in the ass. They just no. So when you got some special connections, it works really, really well because I don't think any other Feds over there hold their workshops there. So so great that we got in. We're going to create a good relationship, and we're going to make sure that we hold some amazing workshops in Adelaide. So that was really, really exciting. All right, I wanted to chat a little bit about what else we've got coming up. So obviously we've got our first show, which is going to be in Tassie on the 20th of April. Correct me if I'm wrong, Stewie. Again, a lot of dates thrown out.
You're remembering it?
Yeah, so we've got
I may be pulling the calendar up next to me on another screen, but yeah.
Which is cool because I've never been to Tassie. So this is going to be the first time I go to Tassie. It'll be awesome to be there and to see everyone. Those Tassie coaches and competitors are amazing because I've seen them at other NBA comps, at ICN comps. They're epic. They've got some amazing athletes there. So I cannot wait to go there for that first show. And then I think after that, the following weekend, we've got back-to-back, right? We're in Brizzy for the 27th?
Yep, 27th Brizzy, 28th
28th,
Adelaide.
28th is Adelaide. And then the following weekend, the 5th of May is Sydney. And then the Nationals in Melbourne the following weekend, which is the 11th of May, right?
Isn't it 12th?
12th.
Is it 11th? Is it 12th? Yeah.
12th.
There we go.
Yeah. 99% pass mark.
Yep, really got it.
You get a tick.
And this year in season A, we're actually running a pro show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So something that we haven't done before.
Yeah. First time we have once pre-COVID, but yeah, first time since that.
So I'm looking forward to that. We're obviously going to create some new pros on that day. They'll be going to the pro show, but also getting some existing pros coming along too. So that'll be absolutely amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. I've spoken to quite a few existing pros from other feds and a couple of NBA ones that are definitely interested and aiming towards doing it. So yeah, it's shaping up to be
One of my athletes, he's a pro. He'll be doing that show.
Oh,
We
awesome.
had that penciled in long before we were obviously involved in NBA, but it was just opportunity in season A. There's not many pro. As a pro, it's tough trying to pick your show. So it's really nice and refreshing to know that there's another show that you can jump in. So that'll be good. I'm
Because
spewing that I'm not going to be there for it. I'm not going to lie. I was tempted. I'm like, oh, imagine if I just like rocked up and did a quick 72-hour fly in, fly out. But I'm just going to hang tight.
don't tease me.
I reckon we call it
Living vicariously through you boys until I can until end of June, and then it's all hands on deck.
I reckon call it from here. If we get over 100 competitors, we'll call you to make that 72-hour round trip
For that national show?
Yeah. If we go over 100,
all right, fuck it, why not?
Yeah, got him.
We got him. We're going to get him back.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then we'll just
For a
kick it.
weekend. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how my wife will feel about that. She might be like, as long as I get to come too, without the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, what's the plan with the fam? When are they coming back to see you? How long are they staying for? When are they bouncing backwards and forwards?
Yeah, because you saw Jen. I forgot to mention that to you. She dropped off. I spoke to her last night, and she said, "Oh, I'm just on the way to MT's just to drop off some of your stuff." MT's a legend. He's bringing over some supplies for me.
Mhm.
Most of it's just rice flour and supplements, isn't it?
Get some rice flour, protein powder, mate. I hope it's the legit powder. It's not dodgy powder, mate, because I'm gonna have it in the suitcase,
Yeah, so they are coming back. They get back on the 21st of March, I think. They're coming
Mhm.
back to the UK.
Mhm.
And then our flight is due to come home late June, but it's a flexi fare. So if I'm contracted to stay at Saracens till the end of the season, so they'll be in the semi-final definitely. But if they get knocked out, then all the players will go overseas. So I won't be able to get any more data collection for my research. So we'll basically just change our flight and we'll be home middle of June, albeit a little quick stop over in Bali just to get some sun. So I haven't had some, mate. I've had like 5 winters in a row.
I know you copped it, haven't you? You've really copped it.
I haven't seen any sun since 2022.
Wow. So when they go over in March the 20th or March or roughly then, do they
Mhm.
stay the whole time until you come back?
Yeah, so they are, but there's also the tentative. We're just going to see how they go because now the kids are back in Melbourne. They're thriving in their own environment. What we have over here versus, our house and our lifestyle over there, it's very different. And equally, they're friends and kinder. So we did say that if after like 6 or 8 weeks that it's a bit too much, it's the trade-off. Obviously, being away from their dad is hard and me being away from him is challenging, but hopefully we'll all be able to stick it out. But otherwise, if not, they might come back end of May and then just have a little 4 week sabbatical, and then I'll come back and meet them. Because at the end of the day, it's one of those things that, as much as I want them to be here, we'll do what's best, for them. So it's sort of open ended. They may stay to the end of the duration that I'm here, or they might come back earlier.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, they're racking up the frequent 5 miles, my children. You
They're
want to
gonna
know how much money I've spent on airfares in the last 6 months, man? It's disgusting.
That's all right. It's all for a good purpose.
Yep, no, that's exactly right, man. So it's good. It's very good. Not long to go.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to jump into some questions? We had enough of
I'm
the
gonna have to leave you boys. You might have to wrap it up just because I gotta head to training. I've got a 2 hour plus change commute, so I might have to leave you and Stewie, otherwise I'll be late.
Yeah, I'm going to ask Stewie two really big questions that came up. So
Okay.
you can
Sounds
jet
good.
set and go enjoy yourself.
Yeah, you'll have to listen to the potty to hear the answers.
Oh well, I will. Exactly. I'm never done learning, Stewie, so I'm always happy to acquire new information. So I definitely will be, what are we about? Just over an hour in, so I'll make sure that I fast forward the first hour and then get into the real serious nuts and bolts of it.
Done. All right.
Sounds good.
Hey,
All right, bro.
mate.
I'm going to see you in a few days' time, all right?
I know. Safe flight. Safe flight. I'll see you soon.
Same to you. And Stewie, I'll see you soon.
Talk to you soon. See you,
See you guys.
See you, mate. All right, we got a question, and actually we spoke about this, I think, the other week. So I'm just going to read it as it's written. What defines a natural federation? No banned substances at all? Any exemptions? Question mark. Is there a process for those taking banned substances for a legitimate medical reason?
Very good question. Hard hitting. So we follow the WADA testing protocols with NBA. So WADA do have the therapeutic use exemption for some things. With us, with bodybuilding, if those substances are hormonal-based ones, like a guy on hormone replacement therapy that's got testosterone, you're not going to get a therapeutic use exemption for that because there is too much potential that you could use more than your doctor says you should, or things like that. And then, yes, you've got a doctor's certificate, but you've still got an unfair playing field. So, hormonal-based stuff, there's not really any level for therapeutic use exemption, but other medical reasons, dexamphetamine for someone with ADHD, as an example, is banned. It's not going to change how someone looks on show day. So there is a process that you need to go through to get a therapeutic use exemption for that. And we follow that protocol through the WADA guidelines. You submit it to us with the proof from your doctor, and then it's observed and then allowed prior to the show.
And in the end, is it up to the federation to make that choice, whether they agree with the exemption or not?
Yeah. So with bodybuilding, although we follow the WADA protocols, bodybuilding in Australia isn't physically managed by ASADA or WADA. So we choose to follow that protocol. We pay to do that. So we pay individually for every test we choose to do, and we choose to do a lot more than most of the others. So that's how it works. It is by choice. So someone can say they're a natural federation and not do anything more than put it on their posters if they choose to. So that's unfortunately the lay of the land here in Australia. We don't follow that model. We're the complete opposite.
You know, what's really funny is because obviously, the other week ICN published that they found someone that failed a drug test at ICN Bali. And when I spoke to Tony, when I actually met up with him for the coffee before the announcement to tell him what was going on, we kind of spoke about it. And we actually spoke about medical exemptions. And he said that he has come up with a couple of cases where, yes, people have asked for medical exemptions and provided all the evidence and all the proof, and then they've had to make the decision to say yay or nay.
Yeah, and I've had the same. Some yes, some no. I'm not going to reveal any more than that because it's people's private information. But there are cases where we have provided a medical exemption, and there are cases where someone's come to us and we've said, no, that doesn't fit. Thanks for telling us and being honest, but I'll refund your entry fee right now because you can't do the show.
I think I'm going to bring this up, and we can remove this if you want, but did you get someone that said, hey, so I'm just wondering, when do you do the testing? And it was a bit sus.
I haven't actually had that, no, but
maybe it was Tony. Maybe Tony told me that.
Yeah. So no, I definitely haven't had that one. So we do on the day testing. We do also do random testing, especially with pros. But it needs to be random. If you tell someone when you do it, that's right. That's allowing them knowledge of how they can manipulate things.
That's right. You know what's funny is because when ICN revealed that they found someone, there were so many people, I don't know whether it was in a Facebook group or on the post, or I can't remember if it was Instagram or Facebook, but they were like, they should just test everyone. If it's true natural, you should test every single person. And I'm just reading these comments and thinking to myself, they literally have no idea how expensive a test is. And then you said to me something so funny that I never thought about the Olympics.
The only rule with the Olympics is if you break a world record, they have to test you.
That's
You know,
it.
like that's the only hard, fast rule. Outside that, there are people who win gold medals at the Olympics who don't get tested.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
when you said that to me, I was like, so we actually test more than the Olympics test.
yeah, yeah. On a ratio of tests to number of competitors, we definitely do more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is
So
crazy.
yeah,
When I thought about that, I was like, I bet you no one's ever thought about that. So when you realize that, how much we test compared to the Olympics,
yeah,
and also how much tests cost, we're putting a fair bit into it to make
yeah,
sure that it stays natural as it can
yeah,
be. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. We're not just going to catch people by luck. We're going to firstly test it every single show, no matter what,
Hmm.
and secondly, random test on top of that,
Yeah.
so that people just don't come to NBA shows when they're that way inclined, because they know that they'll get caught.
Then they know that,
That has been the place already, and that ain't changing.
yeah, they know that we're pretty vigorous
Yeah,
in testing. Yeah. You're not going to slip through the cracks. Yeah.
yeah,
It's good. I
yeah,
thought I would bring that one up because we did get that question. So
yeah.
luckily
No,
we brought that one up.
good one.
Last one, because it is to do with NBA, but someone said, will NextGen Visuals, so Alex, be recording all the shows around Australia for the season?
Yep.
Hopefully not just Melbourne.
Yeah, so that's already been announced. So tell the person who asked that question to follow our socials. They
Yeah.
need to keep a closer eye on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's one of the other things we've done this season. So Charles, the photographer, is still flying around to every single show doing our stage photography, and Alex, NextGen Visuals, is going to do the same with reels and video of the entire show as well.
Yeah.
So he's got some really cool things happening with how he's going to set that up. So
Mm.
yeah, we're gonna get some really good extra footage there, and
Yeah.
every competitor should be thinking about those memories they get afterwards, both photos and video,
Yeah.
because show day can go really quickly. So it's definitely one of those extra things with our production being that bit better than any other show. And you add those guys capturing it, you're going to get a good quality memories of the show afterwards as well.
Yeah. I'm spewing. I wish I had that when I competed. Like I wish, obviously I did ICN and A and B, and they didn't have that. And I was like, after seeing what he does and his footage, and look, anyone can just go on the social and just have a look at NBA page. All those videos are epic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. And from what he's told me, because obviously we've built a really good relationship with him, and all the amount of equipment that he's bought just for NBA to make sure that he's got like 1,001 cameras there and all the
Yeah.
best quality. He's going to have all the angles. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And he's also doing the live streams. That's something too that we're implementing for season A. So we are going to have proper live stream camera properly set up, not off an iPad or something like that, or off
Yeah.
someone's bloody phone. It's going to be like a proper camera for the live stream. So that's going to be absolutely awesome.
Yeah. No, I'm excited for all those things. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And then we
Yeah.
have our mega workshop that is done through Donna, and we're actually holding it at Alex's new studio.
Yeah.
So that's going to be epic. Because if
Yeah.
anyone follows NextGen Visuals on socials, you'll see his studio, and the amount that he's put into that thing is absolutely crazy. So we're going to be holding it there, which is going to be epic. So yeah, I can't wait for that. That's in April, so it'll be really, really good.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the day after the Launceston show. We fly back to Melbourne for that.
Yeah, we're going to need a coffee that day for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
The vibe at the expo will get us up.
Yeah, it'll be absolutely awesome. Yeah, for sure. All right, we might wrap it up there. Thanks everyone for listening. I know this is a
Yep.
little bit of a different podcast / interview announcements,
Yeah.
baby, NBA, and talking about drug testing. So,
Yeah.
so
Good old MG had to overshadow us, didn't he?
look, his announcement's bigger than ours. It is,
Yeah.
it's more important, but
Yeah.
we'll take second. It's
Yeah.
all good.
Yeah. Second to that, I'm okay with.
Yeah, of course. All right, thanks, Stu, for your time, and we'll chat to you soon.
Yep. Talk to you soon. Thanks,
See,
mate.
see you, mate. Take care.
Bye.